Hello and welcome back to the Ringside Rivalries studio. I am Michelle Miller.
And I'm Victoria Valentine.
And this is our 6th episode of Ringside Rivalry Slam Stories. So thank you so much for your continued support and welcome back. Tonight we have a very exciting guest, if I may say so myself. What do you think, Victoria?
I would say it's a good one.
I am proud to say that he is the most tenured guest that we have had thus far. So I am extremely pumped to find out all about his travels, his career, what's brought us here to this day. So he has, I believe, just over 17 years in the business is what he shared with us. And his talents, not only have you seen him cross a vast majority of the independent wrestling scene as a wrestler, but with his training and his knowledge and dedication to his craft, and he also brings to us a training academy, which I think is absolutely amazing. And the reason I find it's fascinating and exciting for Gino himself to be the trainer is because of how widespread he is. And the fact that he has put 17 years of commitment into the craft itself, like I stated, but he's so well traveled and has come across, I can imagine, all walks of life across the independent wrestling circuit. And not only that, I mean, we're talking about wrestling on WWE, AEW, GCW, and I can name a bunch of other places, but I am not here to give you a history lesson nor a PowerPoint presentation. Let's be honest, the video probably wouldn't work anyway. But we will just, you know it's true. You know it's true.
I know. This poor freaking thing has been giving us the worst time.
But I just want to let the man have the floor and hear the stories from him himself. I did mention that he has his own training academy. It is called Off the Ropes. We are going to let him touch more on that so he can share all the information that he cares to on that. Now, we have had the pleasure of seeing him, well, both Ringside Rivalries and he were here in Southern Illinois. And it's my understanding that he will be coming back. So hopefully we'll learn more about that. But before we bring him on, I just kind of want to quit talking about the man for just a moment and touch base with my co-host. Hello, Victoria. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing quite well tonight. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing very well. As you heard, I just kind of gave a rundown of who we have joining us tonight, but I don't want you to give away too much detail in regards to what kind of game we're playing tonight, but there is a change to one of the things that we normally do with our games, and I was wondering if you wanted to go ahead and let everybody know that is watching what the difference is about tonight's game.
Well, as you all know, we typically like to give away a $25 gift card. However, we decided to change it up a bit, step back a little bit. And without giving away what game or how else it's going to go, but you just might be able to win yourself some merch tonight. So you might want to fill up that chat, let us know, interact with Gino. I mean, come on, let's ask the dude some amazing questions and show him your support.
Yes. If you have a history of working with Gino, of course, we want to hear the stories that you share, the memories you share with him in the ring. Whether you're another wrestler, a promoter, or just a fan that's been following him, please share away. And of course, if you don't know Gino, if you're completely unfamiliar with him, go ahead and take this opportunity to get to know him. Feel free to ask questions about anything that we're talking about currently. And of course, if you have your own questions, we do want to see those as well. So go ahead and pop those into chat, and then Victoria will hold those a little closer to the end of the show so that we can go ahead and have everybody get their opportunity to ask a question or two as well. Is that correct, Ms. Valentine?
Yes, you said it right there. That's how it's going to go. So let's flood it up, why don't we? And I think we should get rolling.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I don't see any reason to hold back any further. I think we should go ahead and welcome the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia, Gino Toldyouso Rivera.
I almost took a bump. I almost took a bump right now just for saying that. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Michelle, how you doing? Victoria, what's going on?
Oh, hello, and thank you for
Oh,
being here with us tonight. How are you doing?
Today has been a very, very productive day. Very busy day. Every day is a busy day, but this one has been the most as I prepare for my own show here
Yeah.
with my school, and I'm just getting ready for that. You know what I mean? Doing meeting with wrestlers and doctors and stuff like that. So it's very, very tough. There's not enough hours in the day. You know what I mean? So that's how we do things here. Just constant on the go, on the go.
No, well, it's not a bad thing. It sounds like they're definitely keeping you on your toes out there.
Always, always.
No, you're based in New Mexico, is that correct?
Absolutely. I was born and raised in Hawaii and then moved to Los Angeles, started my wrestling career there. And then I
Okay.
moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico to blossom here and plant some seeds and watch these seeds turn into flowers, meaning students. So I opened my own school here in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay, great. Yes, and I do recall reading about that, and I am very excited to hear all about the training that you offer and hear some stories about what's going on with you and your trainees. It looks like we may have interrupted some training now.
No, I got it totally covered. I was actually going to do the podcast, the interview, as I was training in the ring, but it would be too loud, and there's too many
Yeah.
people yelling, screaming, and crying. There's a lot of that. So I was like, I'm going to step away. I will be right back, guys. You guys have till 8 o'clock, 8:30. We'll see you later. They got it under control, I hope. So.
Fingers
Yes, we're
crossed.
currently training right now. We train Monday through Thursday from 4 to 8 p.m. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're on the road. There should be no one here in town. Everybody should be somewhere. That's how we do things here. I have about
Okay.
30 students in my camp, so it's a big class.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. Well, I know we've spoken before about Ringside Rivalries coming out there and taking a look at not only the training academy, but get an opportunity to sit down and talk to you more. But then maybe like catch one of these shows that you put on out there. I know we'd love to come out and see your trainees.
Absolutely. You guys are always welcome. Please come on by, come on down, check out the school, check out the show. I'll show
Yes.
you crazy stuff around here. We'll come back.
Well, we definitely look forward to it. So thank you. Yeah, we'll get it scheduled because I know we're excited to see everything that's out there. Like I said, we started in Southern Illinois. We're coming up on our first year now. Our anniversary is actually it's 2 weeks. Victoria, is that what it is?
yeah, crazy enough already.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So thank you. So yeah, this next year we're expanding out. We're touching on other states. So I think New Mexico is definitely on the list.
It's the way to do it. I've almost touched every single state traveling in this past 17 years. So it's been fun. It's been wonderful.
Yep, and that's our goal. Our goal is to get out there and see the different shows and support as much as we can and hopefully air as much as we can to make that network larger and larger. So
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And we need more people like like you guys. Obviously, supporting indie wrestling is very, very, very tough.
yes.
But this is where it starts. This is where all your favorites come from. We start somewhere. Not everybody has the privilege to start at the PC and WWE and get a contract because they're a Nepo baby, but there's a lot of young and old students that are literally day one and they need your support. So it doesn't matter whoever you may be, from fans to family, friends, whatever, support us in everything we do. I've had wonderful people supporting me for 17 years and I couldn't ask for any more.
That's excellent. Before I get into the questions, and which I really do want to jump in, I did see a chat pop up. Am I correct, Victoria?
Yes, we did
Okay.
have our Anthony Morris joining in. As you tell, I said it right this time, so you don't have to yell at me again, Michelle.
I was just going to say, did you say his name correctly?
I did. Ever since you got on to me, what was it, Sunday? I learned, okay? I've got it. It
Well,
is,
enough
he
is
just
enough.
said, hey. He just joined in and say, hey, wonderful ladies. Hello,
Hey.
welcome for joining us.
Hey, Anthony. Thank you for coming in and watching. We can always count on Anthony to pop in and say hello to us.
Absolutely. Cycle. We already know he's going to come in somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
Loyalty.
I'm
Loyalty.
sorry.
All right, so let's jump into the grueling part. Okay, this is where I'm going to drill you with questions. You ready? Did you know that there was a quiz?
I'm totally fine with it. Let's do it. I love things like these. So bring it.
Well, I'm going to start with you, like I start with every other one of our guest storytellers. We need to be brought back. We need to know who Gino Toldyouso Rivera is. So we're talking, you said over just about 17 years. Where did this all begin?
I can tell you right now, I was an adopted child, and the family that took me in loved wrestling. I'm the youngest boy of 6 boys, and the lady that took me in, she was a single mom, and she's like, I'll take the kid. I love children. I'll take them, and she raised me to be a wrestling fan. My
Okay.
mom, well, my adopted mom. Well, I'm going to take that back. My mother is the biggest Undertaker fan you could imagine. Like, there is no one that loves the Undertaker more than my mom. Therefore, I followed in her footsteps, and we would watch every single anything, rather be VHS. I may be dating myself here. VHS, we'd buy all the shows on cable, the pay-per-views and stuff like that. We go rent some movies at the stores, Blockbuster, everything.
Yes.
Eventually, I just became the biggest wrestling fan I could. And I don't know, I do recall, like, as a child, drawing what I wanted to be, and it wasn't a wrestler. It was like a fireman or a police officer, which I don't want to be now. But
Okay.
I do remember drawing that. But as I grew up, I started to lean into wrestling, and I was like, one day I'm gonna do this, maybe. I don't know. And I wonder
Yeah.
whatever happened to that dream, But I guess I'm here. I'm doing it. I followed my intuition, and I went to the Staples Center to see a show in Los Angeles, and they were handing out flyers. And at first, I was like, "Oh, strippers! I don't want to see that." Keep walking. Right? I threw the flyer. I was like, "I don't want it." I go
Okay.
to the show. I come back out, and they're like, "Hey, here's a flyer. Come see wrestling." And I was like, "There's a bunch of naked dudes on there, shirts off, whatever." And I'm like, "I don't want to see that show." Wait, did you say wrestling? And they're like, "Yes, wrestling, pro wrestling, lucha libre." And I was like, "I'll take that." And I looked it up. I took it home. I called the number. I was like,
Okay.
"I'd like to sign up for this wrestling school," not knowing how to do this. I thought it was we just get in the ring and fight, but there's a whole process to this. Me speaking as a trainer and a wrestler now. But yeah, so I signed up in 2008 under Santino Bros on the West Coast. My coach was named Joey Chaos, and we started my career in January of the 17th of 2009, and I've been going consistently ever since. Weekend warrior beyond that. You know what I mean? Through injury, through moving, you name it. I've been wrestling consistently for 17 years. So that's how I got started, and I love this. I truly love this. You have to love this to do this. You have to be a little bit
Yeah.
crazy too. So I'm a little
I
crazy.
can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
personally never wanted to be in the ring, but I can say that I have been a wrestling fan for a very, very long time.
God.
My favorite wrestler, I'm older than you, so my favorite wrestler is really going to date me. It was Ultimate Warrior. He is the one.
I like the golden age era. I like that.
So he was the one that had gotten me into wrestling, and it was just something that I did with my father. And so I have to say that I love your story because again, it was your mother that had brought you into the wrestling world, and I pretty much did that inadvertently with my children. I was completely ecstatic when my son came to me one year and was just like, "Hey, Mom, did you know that there's this thing called wrestling?" And I was like, "Really?"
Tell me more.
And, took it from there, and that's actually, long story short, with why Ringside Rivalries was created. We are a family ran vlog series. We now have 2 podcasts that we run on top of the vlog series.
It's fancy.
And it's just myself and my children.
Yeah.
So, of course, my daughter, Victoria, and then behind the scenes, we have more, and it's all because they wanted to be in the wrestling industry. So passing it on and building those memories. And I hope to God they do what you did and take it and harness it and make something out of it, because it looks like you certainly have. So we've seen you in one place, but we've been following you since and have seen you everywhere.
You know what? I literally was talking to somebody the other day as I was in Vegas wrestling, And these are people I've never met from the East Coast, and they follow me. And I mean, I don't know everybody. I'm really bad at names and faces. Don't judge me. But this week or last weekend, and I got a lot of handshakes, and everybody was like, "Hey, Gino, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hi, who are you?" But it's cool to see that people look at me and they go, "I see you everywhere, and you promote yourself relentlessly."
Yes.
I can at least go every hour on my timeline, whether it be Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, and I'll see you promoting, pushing, and you're here, you're there, you're up there, you're in Mexico, you're there, whatever. Like, I love that, you know what I mean? But I don't see that. You know, I wish I could jump into your guys' body and kind of see what you guys see. I always tell everybody that. I'm like, am I out there? And they're like, yeah, you bug, yeah. So I love it.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think a lot of people could take a few lessons from you in terms of promoting themselves because, they end up doing themselves a disservice. And taking a look at your posts, you're always motivating people to learn and grow. And I absolutely love to see the support that you always put out there for other promotions and wrestlers because it's nice. It's, everybody, of course, I think on every single episode, we say that, the wrestling industry is filled with drama. No kidding.
In a world full of wrestlers that are jealous, paranoid, bitter, angry, upset, you know what I mean? The only thing you can do is pass on the positive, and
yes,
trust me, there's a lot of things I could be upset about. I am 17 years without a contract. I could be mad as hell, but my legacy is what I look forward to leaving now, what I've done and who I bring in, opening the door and sneaking a few kids in to go, come on, guys, get in business. That's my legacy. Would I like it to be more? Of course, but like I said, just in a world full of angry wrestlers, whether it be women or men or in between, I learned that all day it's easy to just take shots at everybody and kind of, poke here and stab here and say some subliminal stuff. But it's not easy to compliment somebody, you know what I mean, on their end as a wrestler because everybody's paranoid and this and that. Me, I have no problem doing that. I'm like, come on. You know what I mean? And I see a lot of people. I can go on my timeline right now and I can see, Gino this, Gino that, whatever. And every time I tell my students this all the time. Every time somebody takes a shot at you, post another flyer of yourself and where you are and where you're going to be and who you're wrestling. That'll make them mad. You know what I mean? Every single time you see a shot taken and it's at you, don't reply. Don't take a subliminal. Don't at anybody. No, just go, I got about 7 places I'll be in the next few weeks. I'm going to drop this flyer on you. Oh, I'm going to be in your city, by the way, and check out. Guess whose face you're going to see? Mine. Hi. So that pisses them off even more than just going back and forth and doing subliminal. So I don't do that anymore. I've grown up. Wrestling has taught me so much. It has made me into the man I am. And people would frown upon that, but I can tell you a list of things that this business has taught me. And this is a guy without a father. And wrestling was my father and taught me a lot. Money, how to think, how to treat people, women, men, how to negotiate, how to manage money. The list goes on. So sorry, long-winded there.
No, no, you're absolutely fine.
Much, okay.
And I couldn't agree with you more. And I'd have to say, especially because you said that you've grown in the industry and you changed. So you may have been a certain extent of this way before versus now. I'd have to venture to say that you had to see a huge change in the knowledge that you were able to take in after your attitude towards others had changed.
Yes, I can tell you 2011 was the worst year of my life. That's when I was at my cockiest and my head was so big I couldn't fit through a door. And I learned that I started losing bookings. I started losing faith or people started losing faith in me and didn't want to put their stamp of approval on me because this arrogance, this cockiness, this, just it was just really bad. And I learned when I broke my jaw, literally it broke my jaw. I kept my mouth shut. I could still wrestle, but I couldn't talk. And for those 6 weeks that I couldn't talk, taught me a lot. And I'm a strong believer of faith. And I believe that maybe this was God's way of saying, shut the F up. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Eyes open, mouth closed, ears and eyes open. Keep it like that. And I've literally grown up ever since then, I think.
No, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to come back just a little further because I know you mentioned where you found your love for wrestling from, but what I want to know is a little bit more about that story, that memory with your mom, that when you were watching wrestling, what was that part that you were like, hey, I got to be a part of that?
We would watch video after video, and I lived in Hawaii, the Big Island, in a really small town. It was called Ainoloa, and there was like two VHS video stores, and I would just want to go there all the time. And we would rent, at the time you could only rent like two or three, and then you have to bring them
Yeah.
back. Miss Victoria, you probably won't understand this, but you couldn't rent 10 videos at a time, right? But you'd rent like two or three, and I'd literally watch those 2 3 hour tapes, each of them. And I'm like, all right, tomorrow, can we go? Can we go back to the video store? Can we go get some more? Can we get some more? And there were so many things. I'm born in 88. I'm 37 years old in 2 days, or yeah, 2 days. And at the time, I was just so fascinated with just wrestling. And my mom supported it, you know what I mean? And she didn't have a lot of money. We were really poor, not poor, but we were less fortunate. I'm a food stamp book baby. You don't know about that either, Victoria, but we come from food stamps, and my mom did as best as she could. And to make me happy, she would, go and spend her last few dollars to go into these VHS stores and buy me or rent these tapes for me to make me happy. And, it was just from there, I just knew, I was like, this is it. Me and my mom are watching this 3 hour episode or pay-per-view of SummerSlam 94, Undertaker versus Undertaker. So yeah, still got it in my head. You know what I mean? And just watching my mom cheer and,
Yeah.
watching me be happy and stuff like that. And the pay-per-views that we couldn't get, if we didn't have a lot of money, we'd wait like, a few months till the tape came out, and we'd be like, yes, like we get to see it, So my mom was just, she's the greatest, and I love her so much. I have a whole closet full of my tapes. I will never get rid of them. It's her handwriting. I shouldn't say this because I might go to jail, but we would record over like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. We'd have our double video players, and that's how I'm like, I want this video. She's like, you're sure this is Aladdin? I'm like, screw Aladdin. I want Sting versus Hogan. And we, double record. Victoria, do you know what I'm talking about at all?
I do, actually.
Okay.
I'm pretty well nourished around all this stuff, so yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about, right? So we would double record these videos, and it's all in there. And it just has my mom's writing, WWF Royal Rumble 1993, and I just love it. And I'll never get rid of it because it's just very special to me. If this whole house burns down, I'm literally going to throw everything out of the window because this is my childhood memories. This is how I got into it. I used to wrestle on coconut trees. We cut down the coconut tree.
Yeah.
We'd use those as turnbuckles to jump off as a turnbuckle, So we didn't have a ring. Our telephone wires were really low to the ground, and I would cut up this cardboard, box to make a belt. And I don't know why we did this. I don't know how we did this without dying, but I throw the belt over the telephone wire.
Oh.
Use our ladder that we probably stole from somebody's yard, and we jump off the coconut tree. We didn't have 4. We only had 1. So we literally climb back up and elbow drop, and me and my best friend, Wesley Brooks and Larry Botello, they're all in different paths in life. They never thought I'd be a wrestler, but here I am. That is where I got my start. Just my mom and just wrestling with my buddies outside. And there was this lady named Janet across the street, and she would just sit there and knit. Am I saying it right? Knit or sew or whatever. She would just sit there and watch me wrestle. My friends wouldn't be home sometimes, and I'd wrestle this cone that I stole from the construction place. And I'd just talk to myself. I'd be doing JR, my God, he's going to slam him. Oh my God. And this lady would just watch me all day. And then the next day,
you were entertaining her. That's priceless.
Yeah, it was like free entertainment. So I was performing in front of an audience since I can remember. You know what I mean? I used to have my shirt like Hulk Hogan, and I do this. And I thought I was Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And she would knit all day and just go, okay. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. See you tomorrow. So
come back again.
I recently went back to the house to see if she's still there. She moved away a long time ago, but man, it would show up and be like, hey, I'm a wrestler now. So
I was gonna say that would have been awesome to be able to give her an update and let her know that you actually did it.
Oh my gosh. She probably thought something was really wrong with me. And there probably was, because there's as a wrestler, I'm probably still crazy, but just to watch this young kid just jump off a coconut tree onto a cone and just keep doing it and touch a telephone wire without getting shocked, I don't know how.
Right.
I don't know how we did it.
Managed to know to stay away from those electrical.
I don't know if it never worked or anything, but it was just really low from where I was playing, and I was like, ladder match, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels. So that's how I got into wrestling.
Don't try this at home.
Don't try this
We'd
at
have,
home. Don't steal
we'd
codes.
have to say that before our own podcast.
Don't copyright, or copy video of VHS stuff. I don't even know if anybody does that anymore, but don't steal cones.
Oh, Victoria, it looked like we had a chat bubble pop up.
I couldn't afford the wrestling buddies, the Hulk Hogan and the Warrior one. I couldn't afford those. So we got
No judgment. No judgment.
Hey.
The phone worked perfectly fine, it sounds like, so why not?
I ain't complaining, you know what I mean? Especially when we had to put like an empty coconut with a broom as a head and kind of, we're going too far. Okay. Growing up in Hawaii.
You do what you got to do. I think it's great.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we did have a question pop up, and we'll save that for later. And
Okay.
then we had our own Crystal Harmon join in, just saying hello. Hello, welcome in.
Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
And that was it. I'll give it back to you. 'Cause, yeah, we'll
Okay,
save
no,
that
that's
for
fine.
the
I didn't
next
want to ignore anybody. That's all. And I did see it pop up, and I knew I had waited a minute longer than I normally do. So, just trying to combat my old brain. That's all.
You're fine. If it gets too crazy, I'll completely cut you off. I'll be like, "Excuse me, Michelle."
Yeah, and cut me off too, because I'm like I said, I'm Puerto Rican. I will talk you to death. Skull and bones. So
You got it. I'll note that.
Well, what I want to know next is who you consider to be your top 3 most influential people in wrestling that have impacted you the most.
that shaped me.
Yes, you.
Oh my gosh, this is easy.
Okay.
Obviously, the Macho Man Randy Savage, right?
And Victoria will jump on board on that one. Okay.
Macho Man Randy Savage was very inspirational as far as gear wise for me and the way I talk as a character.
Okay.
Brian Pillman with my facials and what I do in the ring. That is somebody that I took a lot from, and just I love the unpredictability of him.
Yes.
I want to say the Undertaker, but there's nothing about me that stands out like the Undertaker other than the inside of my boots, which is purple, to represent the Undertaker and to remind me of why I got it. But so let's go with Macho Man, Brian Pillman, and Doink the Clown. Why?
Doink the Clown. Okay, that one you have to explain more. Elaborate.
Time where everybody was scared, or I liked Evil Doink, and I wasn't afraid. I was afraid of the Undertaker, but I wasn't afraid of Doink. And when I was growing up, there was a movie called It.
Yes.
I was scared out of my mind of that clown, but I wasn't scared of Doink. And I just loved all the bad stuff that he would do to people. As a heel, as a character, Matt Bourne was amazing. So I now incorporate his move into some of his moves into my move set, the whoopee cushion, which I just posted the other day of me doing it, and people kind of, they go, "Hey, where did you get that? Why do you do that?" And I just tell them, like, guess. And right when they guess, Doink the Clown, I go, of course. So I wanted to. This is gonna sound weird. I actually wanted to start my career as a clown. Like, I wanted to be a wrestling clown, but there's so many out there, real and the ones that dress up, that I just wanted to stick out and do something else. So if I could do it now, tomorrow, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would be the scariest clown you'd ever meet. But those are the 3 wrestlers.
I feel a gimmick change coming on.
I thought about it literally while I was in Vegas. I was very depressed in Vegas, and I was like, you know what? Like, something's got to change. There's so many of me around here. Not young. Cruiserweight, flippy guys. There's so many of them here that are better and younger and better looking than myself. Something's got to change. And I was like, clown, evil clown.
Clown. That'll do it.
Maybe.
Every time.
I don't think we've seen any clown yet, so.
Man and Doink the Clown. There you go.
Okay, so if this ever happens, if Gino ever goes clown, please give us the first interview, please.
Oh yeah. It'll be a whole transformation. I will be the worst clown you would ever see. I will not be nice. I will not play into a character. It's gonna be just an evil clown, and I'm
An
ready.
evil clown.
I grew up on it. I'm ready. Okay.
Mhm,
I don't
I
think
do
you'll be able
too.
to handle that, Michelle. I don't think you'll be able to handle that. I know
Well, that
you
was
know
just it.
clowns.
Just
Lucky for me, I can say I hate clowns, and I have a true
see,
phobia of clowns.
right. So just as a sidebar, I don't know, across America, there was I think like maybe 2 or 3 Halloweens ago, maybe before the pandemic, maybe after, I don't know. But there was this thing where clowns were just showing up at
Yep,
places and they
about
would
3 years ago.
yeah, and they would be at like stop signs or stoplights in my city, and you're just looking at this clown and he's not moving, but he's got a balloon, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. He's gonna try and kill
Kill
us,
me.
right? I was like, I could totally do that because I'm so into forensic files and yeah, I am that guy. But I was like, that's the kind of clown I will bring into wrestling, and it's gonna be dope. I won't kill anybody, but it would be that scary where it's like, so I like that.
Well, I am secretly hoping you do it.
I'm
One of
like,
these,
I'm in for it. I can
one of
already
these
see it
days.
now.
On my way out, I'm pretty sure I'll do it at least once, which is
I say
very
at least once.
just once.
Oh goodness. All right, dial back here. What? No, I can. Looking at this as a wrestler, or even a wrestler as a trainer, what skills do you think are the most important as a professional wrestler? What do you instill in yourself, and what are you instilling in your trainees?
Gosh, I always tell my students that you can't have it here, okay? Can't have it in your head. You have to have it here. It has to come from here. And people kind of don't understand when I say that. You have to love wrestling. You have to have it. And everybody gets confused with the word it. What is it? What is it? It's passion, it's drive, it's commitment. You have to really want this. I've trained over 100 wrestlers, and I've produced maybe 20 of them that are out and about. That's how many people have come to me and said, this has always been my dream. I love this. My grandpa was a wrestler, or my dad wanted me to do this. My mom thinks this is a cool idea. And they've all found the way out. They found their exit because they found out that this wasn't for them because they didn't have it here. They had it here. They thought this was a good idea. They thought this was cool. They thought they could do this until the first bump, until the first 6-hour drive, until the first envelope where you open it up and it's $3 and they tell you, go get a torta and a Sprite, until you get your first hot dog, until you get no pay, until you get stiff. They thought they wanted it, but they didn't have it here. And I've taken a lot of sacrifices. Gosh, 17 years. I can't even go through everything that I've gone through, but I have it here. I love this. I love wrestling when it's bad. I love wrestling when it's amazing. And that's why I stick around. I stick around as a trainer, as a wrestler, as a fan. And I never forget that I'm a student of the game. I'm never one to go, hey, you know what? I know everything. I don't need to learn anymore. I'm teaching you. I'm the vet. Here's my vet card. Call me. I'm still a student of the game. Everything that I do, I learn and I take back to my kids so that they can succeed. Everything that I've done as a failure, I tell them, hey guys, don't do this. This is why, and this is what can happen to you when you do these bad things. So again, you have to have it here and here, but mostly here. Okay, here is what it is. You cannot teach charisma. If you don't have charisma, I can't help you. You know what I mean? I meet a lot of great wrestlers, and they're just that, great wrestlers, but they're not great storytellers. They're not animated. They're shy. They're too timid. I can't do that. I just want to be a wrestler. Well, Steve Blackman was a great fighter and he was a great wrestler, but he just couldn't cut a promo. He couldn't get the fans behind him other than some glow sticks, right? But a guy like John Cena, who's very, very animated and very captivating and passionate. Not the greatest wrestler, as you guys could see, but I might get fired for that. But you know what? But John Cena can get a crowd behind him because he has it in here. He loves this, no matter what anybody says. It's not just here. I think I love it. No, I know I love it, and I show it. I bring it. You know what I mean? So hopefully that answers your questions.
No, it does.
Yeah.
And it is just as important as the physical aspect of it, or the want. You have to have the drive, the willpower, and it's harder than it looks. I would imagine. Like I said, I can't speak because I'm never going to try it. Never wanted to, never will. But I've seen those who have worked in it for many years,
Yeah.
and it can be grueling at times. So you have to truly have the want to be there and the want to grow within it. Otherwise, what's the point?
Absolutely. I've literally wanted to quit this business every single day and I can't. My heart won't let me. There's times that I'm like, oh, my back, I'm in so much pain. Today I'm in a lot of pain and I'm like, I'm done. Here I am in the ring with my students. I ain't done. You know what I mean? I'm on the road and I'm cursing out my steering wheel and I'm like, I'm never doing this 14-hour drive again. What am I doing next week? I'm back on the road doing a 20-hour
Yep.
drive. I'm never getting on a plane because I get motion sickness. I'm puking all over the place. Here I am next week going to Montana wrestling JTG from WWE. Right? Like,
Yep.
This business is an up and down roller coaster. And there's a very famous guy that said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Wrestling is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. I'm sure you guys get that.
But that's the best part of it. I think that's what's so addicting about it. That's what's so captivating about it, because it really, I mean, you really have to be messing up for wrestling to go stagnant. And I mean, I'm not saying that people don't do it, because I've been to some shows, but I'm saying you really, really have to futz it up, because it provides so much.
Oh, yeah. I tell my students all the time, I'm like, look, guys, I am not promising you a WWE contract. I cannot get you that. Only you can. This will get you that. Okay. But I also want to tell you guys that it's like finding a needle in a haystack. That's how they look at it. And no one is checking for you here in New Mexico. You've got to learn from me and leave the nest and fly away and go and learn how to fly somewhere else. I've had 11 different trainers in my career. I've learned from all of them, and they've all carried me. And the same with my students. I tell them, I'm like, you cannot stay here. Learn a little bit from me and move on. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the way it goes. I am not the best trainer out there. I can get you started, but I can't show you everything. And they appreciate that. You know what I mean? So, and I love.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. You got to be honest with yourself. I have to be honest with myself as a wrestler, a trainer, a human being, a fan, and I kind of tell them that too. It's like, be honest with yourself. Is this what you really want to do? Do you want to pursue this industry? This industry will not love you back if you don't work hard. If you work hard, it might love you back. And that's kind of contradicting. It's like, wait, so you're saying, yes, I'm saying you can work hard like me for 17 years and be without a contract, but I'm still happy because I got to do so many cool things. You know what I mean? Versus a 17-year-old guy next to me who's like, I hate this industry. I'll never do this again. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm retiring, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, don't be that guy. Okay. This business is fun if you make it fun.
Mm-hmm. No, I love where you're going with that, what you're saying, because especially with doing your part in the training and sharing with them your knowledge, your experience, and then kind of setting them free. It's like, you're instilling that don't stop learning. Just because you've trained here, you haven't learned everything.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, those individuals that you mentioned that say they hate it and they want to leave, I would hope that they would sit back and consider, have I traveled enough, experienced enough, seen in every aspect that I could of this industry to truly have that opinion of it? And I think if you're sitting still and you're not going out there and you're not traveling to different promotions, different states, different countries, what have you really tried it enough to say that you hate it? And I think that that's what you've done personally. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's at least what you exude.
Yes. You can't be the big fish in a little pond. You gotta go. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. There's 3 promotions here. And I mean, get the whole, I'm a hometown here on a local superstar out of your system and move on. Start a fire somewhere else is what I tell my kids. I'm like, okay, you're hot here. They love you here, but guess what? Denver doesn't know you. Chicago doesn't know you. Manhattan doesn't know you. Orlando, they don't know you. Go over there and start some fires. You know what I mean? See how hot you can get. And when you're really hot, leave. Go somewhere else. Because guess what? You can always go back because of the way you left it. And that's my mindset all the time. You know what I mean? Do good work. Be polite. Be respectful. show that you can be an asset to a locker room versus being a problem, and you'll have jobs everywhere. You know what I mean? There's no place that I can't go back to right now. I am always welcome everywhere because of the seminars I give. I don't have a problem with going under. I don't know how you guys understand the terms yet, but I don't have a problem with looking, counting the lights, and helping the green guys. I prefer to work the new kids because I like to teach. I love to show people things, and I like to see them get out of the ring and go, "That was freaking fun." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, because wrestling is fun. It's not supposed to be something you hate."
Right.
Things that happen, but eventually, when you're doing it right, my coach always says, "If you're not having fun, you ain't doing it right, baby." You know what I mean? So I live by that.
Again, something I can get behind, and I agree 100%.
Absolutely.
But now what I want to talk about here is, in order to stay as able-bodied as you are, to do this traveling and to gain this knowledge and train your trainees, how do you handle the injuries when they do happen? And how do you stay in your peak condition to make sure that, they stay at a minimum?
I can tell you right now, one word or two words, sorry, one wrestler, The Miz. Are you familiar with The Miz? Anybody?
Oh, Victoria's listening now.
Okay, so The Miz is not my favorite wrestler, but The Miz is one of the best examples of pro wrestling. And this might drive people insane, and it does, but I get behind him because this is a man who hasn't gotten injured. Well, the Kofi Kingston kick killed him, but he hasn't injured anybody, and he's wrestled a very safe style because he understands longevity, family, money, and still being a man for a product for the company to help grow the company. And I look at that with my students and I go, I was a guy that would do the strong style, is what they call it. Gosh. And you would hit somebody as hard as you could and blast them and just go, "Get up and hit me now," whatever. And then I started, losing my teeth. They my jaw twice, and I can't feel my face from under my eye to my earlobe, down to my chin, up to right here. This whole thing is numb, and I lost
Oh my
all
goodness.
teeth because of working unsafe and people not hitting me in the right places and working bad talent or good talent, trying to make things look good. So what I tell my kids is you have to learn how to work the safe style and think of longevity. A wrestler's lifespan is anywhere from 3 to 7 years if they're lucky. If you're really lucky, you'll go like The Undertaker, like The Miz. But if you look at when The Rock was on top, it wasn't that long. Stone Cold, it wasn't that long. Batista wasn't that long. Triple H, whatever. But I tell my kids, in training, we're going to walk things through. I'm going to teach you where to hit, the safe places. And I want you to work this style here. And then when you get to the show, yeah, you can make more contact. But there should be no reason why in training you're blasting me as hard as you can in the face and knocking somebody out. And I can tell you right now, I have 2 or 3 students that are out with injuries. And because those are like minor mistakes and stuff that they've done. But I learned to wrestle a safe style. I'm not saying soft, but I just told my kids this probably about 2 hours ago. I said, you guys are one accident, one wrestling move from being paralyzed. Make smart choices. If you don't know how to do it, don't do it. If you can't take it, don't take it. Don't be the hero. Just go, I don't know how to do that. And I can't make you look good doing that because I don't know how. But I'll never force my kids to do anything that they don't know how to do. And I'll never let them do something without me doing it first and them trying it out on me. And if I'm okay, I think you'll be okay. Everybody I train is taller and bigger than me. So, it's like training giants. And I'm like, you all right? All right. You're all right. You good? All right. Let everybody listen to me. Down here. Right. But again, just telling my kids how to work. A lot of guys don't know how to work. And some guys do, but it really helps my kids, to the point where they've survived at least 3 years now. I got some other kids in Vegas that are thriving. So long-winded, sorry.
No, you're fine. And it actually kind of goes into a little bit. I love that you're talking about what you share with them, because my next question is, what sets you apart from other wrestlers, but even trainers? So, I mean, even staying on the topic that we were on, what is, I mean, we can see what sets you apart from other wrestlers and other trainers, excuse me, but I want to know what you believe, what you're striving for.
I sell patience. Do you know what that means? I sell patience. A lot of trainers have been WWE superstars, WCW superstars, and they're checked out. They just want their money. They don't care. They're just, oh, let's see what you can do, kid. Right? You did it wrong. Oh gosh, get out of here. No, wrestling is not for you. Get out of here. Leave. Go play tennis. Who am I to tell somebody wrestling is not their dream? Right?
Right.
Who am I to say you're not fit? You're too small. I'm small. You know what I mean? I'm still doing it. So what I offer, I do phone interviews before I take in my students. I get to know them and let them know what they're going to get into. And I say,
Okay.
Wrestling is for everybody. And I want you to understand, you're going to get this at your own pace. Not everybody that starts together is going to go up together. It's going to be kind of this guy or this girl who's, is a quick learner. It's a different pace. And guess what? With me, I don't care if you're with me for 6 months, a year, 2 years, we're going to get this. And you're going to become a professional wrestler because I'm patient. And I don't care how many times you get it done wrong. We're going to get it correct. We're going to keep doing it. And guess what? I'm not going to get mad at you because at one time I was that kid that was getting it wrong, that sucked, the worst one. I was that guy. So I get it. And I treat people how I want to be treated. So I understand the shy, timid girl that's like, I really love Seth Rollins and I really wanted to try wrestling and I just want to see if I can do this. And she does it. And I'm encouraging too, right? A lot of trainers they don't like to sell when they're happy. They don't like to, make people's head big and boost their confidence. Why not? Why not tell that girl, that was freaking awesome. You keep doing that. Get up and let's do it again. Why not
They need to know
who's running the ropes? You know what I mean? All right. It's not the best, but with practice and over time, you're going to be awesome. And a lot of people love the way I train because I'm encouraging and I'm patient and I'm understanding. I don't browbeat you. I don't yell at you. There's no reason to kick your butt in the ring for getting something wrong. I don't punish my students. I don't lay hands on my students. A lot of people like to do, oh, you got this wrong. Go in the corner, take your shirt off. I'm going to chop you to death. I don't have to do that. I can pull somebody aside and go, how are you feeling? You all right? Are you having a bad day? All right. Well, let's get past that. And I can talk. I'm a father, okay? And I'm the youngest boy of 6. I'm a wrestler. I'm a coach. I'm a trainer at my shoot job. I understand when people don't get things because I didn't get things right the first time either. And somebody, somewhere took time and said, "Don't worry, Gino, you're gonna be okay." And I carry that with me. The same way my trainers taught me, I'm gonna pass that along. And I love that. And that's why people stay with me and retention. And, I have my detractors of like, well, this guy, how are you training a girl for 2 years? Like, she should be just out of the business already. Well, her body is not ready for that yet. And I'm going to stick with her because when everybody gives up on this girl, who's going to be here? Me. When everybody gives up on this man, you know what I mean? I'm still going to be here. So can still do it. And I don't care. I literally put out one of my students who came to me as a manager, didn't want to wrestle. He just wanted to manage. And his body doesn't bend and work that way. And guess what? Today he's training for his 3rd show as a wrestler. And
really
up with him after 2 years. I never gave up on him. I never said, you know what? Your body's you're a cripple. You can't do this. You suck. Leave the business. Thanks for your money. Bye. I could have. I didn't, and I stuck with him. And I'm a big believer in loyalty, and I'm loyal to the people that are loyal to me. And I never give up on him, and that's why he's here with me. Shout out to Lucas Scratch; he's an awesome guy. So, patience is what I sell. Patience. That's the biggest thing. Patience. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and it's true. And not everybody's going to be at the same level. They're not going to advance at the same level. But most importantly, as you've already touched on, all of those people that are out there that they're admiring, they all started at square one, just like they did. You can't, everybody wants to be there overnight. Everybody wants that success overnight, but it's just not possible.
I'm also affordable. I'm also more affordable than most. Look, I understand a 19-year-old kid getting out of high school going, I don't want to go to college yet. I want to chase my dream. I don't have $3,000, but I do have like $100. Okay. Well, I love this so much that I don't need to charge somebody $3,000 to fail or succeed, but I can definitely charge somebody for my time and kind of give them a little preview of what it might like, what it might be or might look like, and then actually have them fall in love with it and go, wow, affordable. I'm having fun. I'm not doing drugs. I'm not in gangs. I'm not on the streets. I'm not doing this. And I have a lot of young kids with me. My youngest student was 16. My oldest student was 48. A lot of my students are anywhere from 16 to 21 years old. And these are kids that could go out. Albuquerque is a very bad city. It's one of the third top cities in the country that is like really bad. And these kids could be out doing drugs and shooting people and getting girls pregnant and being deadbeats or whatever it is. Jacking, doing robberies. But you know what they're doing? They clock out of work and they come here to train. You know why they hold jobs? Because without jobs, they cannot train. They need to pay, right? And they love wrestling so much. I'm going to keep my job because I want to make this dream work. And that's
Gotta finance those goals.
I love that. And teach them how to manage their money. I am a bill. I am a phone bill. You need to pay me, or your phone will be cut, right? I also make basically, hey, if I'm having money trouble, well, guess what? Give me whatever you can until you get back on your feet. I don't care if it's a quarter. Just give me something.
Yeah.
What coach is going to do that? Not a lot of coaches.
There's not many.
My coach,
There's not many.
I quit. I said, I can't afford this. I'm making $200 every 2 weeks at Albertsons, and I can't afford this. I have to leave. And my coach said, stick with it. Don't worry about it. We see your passion. We see your drive. Stay with us. And my trainer, Sylvia Romo Gisabel of the West Coast of Santino Bros, let me stay. And 17 years later, I think she's freaking proud that I'm still here. And I made it. Thank you.
You made it worth it. You made it worth it.
I did.
Victoria, I did see a chat bubble, so I am going to take a moment and see what's going on over there.
Well, we had our Jimmy Harris Sr. joining into the chat. It's just an evening, and he's joining them as he does. Again, we got a nice another usual. We love to see him. So welcome in, Jimmy. Hello.
Good
Hello.
evening. Hello, Jimmy.
Welcome, welcome.
And Jessica's already heard Crystal, so I'm all caught up. I'm better today.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know, again, I was going off and I was asking questions, and I didn't want to think anybody, was being ignored, because that was not it at all, I promise.
You're all good.
Oh, so now I kind of want to get into a little bit of stories here. And is there a match that you could tell us about, bring us back to where you're out there, you're working it, but you had to adapt your wrestling style and like the drop of a dime, whether it was to fit your opponent or even fit the audience? Was there a time you had to be quick on your feet there and think?
Yes,
Okay.
very much so. Why don't we talk about my my WWE debut with 205 Live in February of 2008, February 20th, 2018, episode 65. I got it.
All right.
So I accomplished my dream. I can say that if all goes south tomorrow, I can go, I'm happy. I accomplished my dream. Well, I didn't know all that was going to happen. I signed up as an extra, and a spot became available, and someone said, hey, can you be here tomorrow? I think I can get you a match. And I said, yes. I mean, I'm not driving a semi truck, of course. Yeah, I can be there tomorrow.
Right.
Whatever. Right?
Not at all.
I'm sick. And I drove to Phoenix, Arizona to, I believe, the Footprint Center, And I was there waiting for a spot. No one told me anything until, a few hours. And then we got into the ring and we did some tryouts, and they wanted to see what our footwork looked like and stuff like that. And they, they said, you pair up, you go do something, you pair up and you do something, call a match, bring it in the ring. We'll see you guys in like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I was like, okay. We would do something, me and my guy, and all of a sudden they were like, everybody, switch partners. And I'm like, we just call the whole match. What's going on? And I just remember going, you know what? Screw it. I can call this in the ring. I'm a wrestler. I got it here, right?
Okay.
I slid into the ring and I did my thing, and me and my guy looked at each other, and it was just a, you ready kind of thing. And we knew what we were doing. Then I got pulled aside by a few agents, Billy Kidman, Dean Malenko, and all these guys. And they're like, how long you been working, kid? And I was like, like 15, 12 years, whatever. Oh, you look like a little baby. And I was like, I did say, I didn't say that. I was like, yeah, I am a baby. I'm, I'm very, very young. And I really wasn't. But they're like, can you speak Spanish? And I'm like, yes. But I didn't say that. I was like, yeah, I can speak Spanish. Yeah. I didn't grow up in Hawaii and I speak more Hawaiian than I do Spanish, right? Whatever. I was like, yeah, I can speak Spanish. All right. You're going to be working Lince Dorado and you're going to be working Grand Metalik. He doesn't speak English, so good luck. That's why we're going to put you together. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I go up to him and he's like, ¿Cómo se llama? And I'm like, what? What's your name? And I was like, oh, Gino Rivera. And then Dean Malenko comes back up to me and goes, what's your name? And I was like, Gino Rivera. And he's like, no, your name's going to be Corazon Delgado. And I was like, what the hell does that even mean? And they're like, he's like skinny cat or something, or heart cat or skinny. I don't know what it was. But I was like, okay, that's my name. That's my wrestling name. Whatever, cool. And I proceeded to have one of the greatest matches I've ever had in my life because I was scared. I was scared out of my mind. I just remember I'm tan as hell. Get into the ring. They turn on the lights and I disappear. I'm like, I'm a ghost. What happened to my tan? I disappeared under the lights because I don't think I was tan enough. And I just remember just being there and I'm like, oh my God, like, Mom, I'm here. I'm freaking here. Like, I'm in this ring on the freaking outside because I had a tag team match. And selfish me, I was like, I want to do everything. I'll take everything. Let me do everything. And the other guy was kind of more like, kind of nervous and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll do everything. Don't worry about it. And I went in there and literally was like, if I get signed today, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to wrestle my ass off. And the first move that I received was a back body drop, and I almost break my legs. And I was like, oh my God. I went so high in a rotation that I literally folded my legs under my back. And it was just ever. But I got up and I was like, I'm okay, keep going. You know what I mean? I was
okay.
And I got out of the match and it was great. I always tell people this. I always say it wasn't a squash match. They literally told me, go out there, get over, but don't get over. And I said, what does that even mean? Get over, but don't get over? What does that even mean? And basically, like, do your stuff with them, but don't do your cool stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay. So I go out there and just do whatever I could, just some basic stuff. And I had one of the greatest matches of my life. And that right there solidified everything for me. I was just like, I love life and God loves me and I love everything. And I was just at my happiest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that I made it. And I said, I will never wrestle again. I've already done it all, blah, 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 whatever. And then I had another tryout and another match. And you know what I mean? Because I had a long, hard road with WWE. I messed up a lot in my young career where I could have had opportunities to be seen, to be signed. And I did a lot of stupid things as a young adult. I regret now. But at that time, I was like, this is my time. So I was so happy. Yeah. Thank you so much for Dean Malenko and Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik. These guys took care of me. I was on 205 Live. I was so happy. I still have my tights somewhere in my closet that I'm like, I'm going to frame this, but I never got around to doing it. So it's all in the closet catching dust. But I love it.
Well, I can't say that I blame you, especially going against Grand Metalik. He's well known in this house. My middle daughter loves her luchadors and Grand Metalik. She's going to go crazy. I can't wait till the podcast is over now because I can already hear those footsteps come running. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, I have 3 girls that love Cody Rhodes, and they all do the whole wah, and they love him. So.
Oh yes. That's another one of her favorites. But she's actually met Cody. We've met him a couple times. But so that one's chill. But those lucha. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Victoria, but I really think even all the luchadors, it doesn't matter if it's Cody or Seth, the luchadors win.
Oh, every time. It doesn't matter. Even if there's a new luchador that makes its way, she's like, that's my guy. Scratch everyone else.
A masked wrestler at one time in my career, but I slipped off the top rope because of baby oil. No P Diddy, but I slipped off the top rope because of baby oil, and I
Oh,
knocked myself out. And I took off my mask in front of everybody, and I had no idea what was going on. I was like, "Where am I?" And my coach just goes, tackles me, throws a towel over my head, and I'm fighting because I don't know what's going on.
going on. Oh
Yeah,
no.
and that ended my career as a masked wrestler. And Gino Rivera was born shortly after.
That's funny. Yeah, she her wrestling persona that she uses is a masked wrestler. She has her Tiger Luchador mask. I'm sorry, she's Tiger War is her name.
Okay.
So hold on and keep an
Very-
eye out, because one day you never know. You might get a Tiger War signing up, or you might see her out there.
You know what? I wouldn't doubt it. I'm literally running into people who are like, "Hey, this is my son now," and I'm like, "He's bigger than me. What the hell?" You know.
That's right.
And like I said, I have 3 little girls, so I'm hoping one of them gets the bug. I'm hoping one of them, but I'm scared if they get the bug. I don't want them to get the industry. I'm so sad.
Say it's a catch-22. You want them
Yeah,
to, but then you're like,
we know how this business is, and I'm just like, I would love to have my legacy go down. Instead of Gino, we got Gina Rivera. I don't know, but I'm like, there's so many.
You've got that mapped out way too well to have not thought about this all the time.
Literally, I've driven hours, and I'm like, oh my god, like guys are so ruthless, and girls too. Girls too. They can be ruthless with women as well. And I'm like, maybe they just play soccer. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
I hope one of them gets the bug, because I wouldn't mind training them.
That would be cool. I think that would be a really neat experience to be able to train your own daughters.
My oldest, she kind of gets her foot in, foot out, foot in, foot out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, pick one.
Testing the waters. Testing the waters.
That's for sure. Yes.
Well, it seems like you didn't find adaption to be challenging whatsoever. I can't say that I'm surprised, but that's what I want to hear about next. I want to know, what was your most challenging match? What do you absolutely find the hardest to do out there?
I was that young guy that when I would wrestle older guys, I was like, I'm going to give this guy a hard time tonight. I'm going to blow him up. I'm going to show him I'm better than him. And now the roles have reversed, and I'm still young. Okay, I'm 36 years old. I think I'm young. Yeah. But now I look in the locker room and people are like 16 and they're like, I'm a wrestler. And I'm like, holy crap, you're 12. What the hell? And now I find myself going, can I keep up with this kid? And these kids are so much more better than I was coming in. As you know, wrestling evolves and changes every day.
Oh, yeah.
Change. But I have to adapt to their style. I have to adapt to their cardio, their breathing, their way of thinking. And I find it very challenging, because I'm like, do I still have it to go against this 23-year-old sensation? I just wrestled Jordan Oliver, who is amazing. He said he's known me when he was a security kid and I was a wrestler, and he would stand by the door and watch me. And now I'm in the ring and he's like, I'm going to F you up. And I'm like, please don't, you know what I mean? So I get afraid, and it just happened too in Vegas last week.
This recently?
Yeah. I was doubting myself a lot. I was like, oh God, I've become the old guy where I'm like, hey, I'm not sure if I can do that, or, hey, are we gonna be okay? Hey, can you help me out while we're in there? And I've just become that guy where I'm like, man, I used to do that to older guys, and they'd be like, hey, Gino, take it easy with me out there. I'm 40 years on. I've been wrestling for 30 years, whatever, okay? Now I'm not. So now I find myself going, okay, I got to adapt to him. I got to keep up. And it's very hard, but I succeed. It's just very, very scary and challenging. I've never had that. I've always been the guy that wasn't really nervous, and as I get older, I get even more nervous, and I don't throw up. It's more of like, I got to get away from everybody. Stop talking to me. I can't take a picture with you right now. No, I don't want to do a cameo for your mom right now. Tell her later. Like, I have to go away and go, okay, this is what okay. And then the more I look at the guy and he's just walking around and he's just like, la, 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 I'm like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. Like, so I don't know where that happened. It just, now I'm learning to adapt to just, can I go with the young kids? So I'm trying to do that. Also adapting in a locker room. Sidebar, there's a difference between an American locker room and a lucha locker room. And I
Okay.
forget, American locker rooms are more, everybody's walking on eggshells. And in the lucha locker rooms, it's very loosey goosey, fun, ribby. We play, laughing kind of thing. But it's
Yeah.
also respect too. And I remember going into my first locker room, and the guy had a towel over his lap. He was changing. And I was changing, and I'm the young kid, and I'm like, I don't want to show my butt. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of men in here, So I'm all hiding. And then some grown man just comes right by me, just drops his pants. And I'm like,
Give you a little more than you bargained for.
I was like, wait, hold on, dude. Like, you didn't even put a towel over you. Like, I see everything. And he's just like, oh, put on my singlet, whatever. And he just walks away. And I'm like, what the hell? And everybody starts laughing at me. And I'm like, what's going on? And then they would catcall me. They whistle. They'd be like, and I look, and I'm like, and the guy would pull over his towel, and he'd show me everything. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm selling for them. And then all these lucha guys are like, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, what the hell is everybody? What is going on here? And another guy would drop his towel or his shorts or whatever, and he'd like bend over and he'd look at and laugh at me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing? And
You
one guy,
started
I
a wave of embarrassment for yourself is what you did.
was a kid. I was like, oh my God, there's a bunch of naked men in here. What the hell? And one thing I did was, or somebody pulled me aside and was like, hey, you cannot sell. They're doing this because you're giving them a reaction, and it's funny. Don't do it anymore. And I said, yes, sir. So the next lucha locker rooms I was in, there was more stuff being done. And the more they did it too, like showing themselves, I didn't sell. I was just like, whatever. And then it became something of like, somebody said, do it right back to them and they'll never do it back again. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And sure enough, some guy was like, hey. Right. And I was like, hey, you honk. And the guy was like, okay, we don't want to mess with him. He's not fun anymore. And I adapted to the locker room that was around me. The energy they gave, I gave right back. And it's bad locker room culture, but it's also something that is going to be in different locker rooms. People do different things, and you got to be able to adapt in the situation. The more problematic you are, if you report that, obviously you come back to that locker room, you're going to get heat. But now you got to go, okay, this is what they do here. All right, cool. It doesn't bother me. I'm here to wrestle. That's it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I do.
That's how I adapt in locker rooms. I just give the same energy. If you're respectful, I'm respectful. If you want to play and rib, brother, I'm the best ribber you're gonna ever find because I can rib. I've learned from the best. So good.
Funny experience going locker room to locker room.
It's insane. Locker rooms are insane. I can. I've had some pretty crazy and scary locker rooms. It's, oh my gosh, wrestling. I love it.
You had mentioned that younger generation that's in that locker room now, and how you try to stay up to date, in all the current, developments that are in the industry. How do you do that?
As in, like, what do you mean? As in, like,
what efforts do you put forth, and how are you staying current on these developments? Where do you find them? Where do you study them? What is it, or where is it, I guess I should say, are you pulling from to make sure that your, for lack of a better word, curriculum or training program stays within those means?
I keep up with whoever's on top.
Okay.
I wish I could show you my setup. I watch everything, and I will literally put on 3 or 4 different shows on my computer, on my TV, on my iPad, on my phone. I'll have everything running, and whatever whatever piques my interest, I watch that. And if this guy is the flavor of the month or the flavor of the year, I'm going to watch him. And as what was cool to me was like, oh, I'll do a Frankenstein or a top rope Rana or Michinoku driver. And they're just like, that's it. And I'm like, that used to be cool. That used to be freaking, people love that. And they're like, what if we do this like cartwheel into the 360 into a 430? And I'm like, hold on there. What? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I can do that, but I can. I kind of like watch everybody's matches. I watch everything. I watch all the independents. Yeah, I love watching WWE. I love watching AEW, but they're already there. But there's people that are changing the game on the independent level that are making waves to get to that level of the main stage, the WWEs, the TNAs, and all that. So I've got to pay attention to what they're doing, and not so much take what they're doing, but kind of observe and go, okay, so this is what they're doing now. Okay, we're doing 5 moves in 10 seconds. You know what I mean? That's what they're okay. This is that crowd, and you got to kind of analyze the crowd too. I know how to wrestle for different crowds. You know what I mean? I know what a WWE crowd is. I know what an super indie crowd is. I wrestle for GCW, but I wrestle for GCW, and I know what crowd that is. It's a highlight reel company. They want to see some crazy stuff. They don't want to see doing the clown. You know what I mean? They want to see somebody get dropped on their head. No, we ain't done. Power bomb. No, pick them up. Boom. Spinning heel kick. Oh, tornado DDT, and then grab a chair. Oh, don't forget a Canadian destroyer. Like, that's the crowd. So I adapt to whatever the crowd is, whoever's in the locker room, whoever I'm wrestling, whatever's on TV, whatever's not on TV. I'm a student of the game. I watch and I observe everybody, and I teach myself. So GCF and W, damn right. Yeah. Took me 5 years. Okay, I worked really hard to get on Brett's radar. Love Brett.
Speaking of other wrestlers, hey there, Johnny B. Thanks for joining us. We kind of took over there, Victoria. We took over your chat bubble. Sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Like, you took her one job away. Way to go.
I got one job, and here you are trying to leave my job. Log on.
It's fine.
She's out.
It's completely fine. I'm not going to quit here. It's fine.
There we go.
To me personally, it sounds like it was the independent wrestling circuit that has been the most beneficial. But if I were to say, let's bring it back and talk about the GCW, the AEW, the WWE, what have you, which one of those larger brands would you say was the most beneficial to conditioning your career for success?
I don't have a specific brand, but I can tell you indie wrestling. There's guys that get into companies and they've never gone through the independent circuit. And then when they get released and fired or whatever it is, and they come to the independents, they go, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. What do you mean? Like, this is how it is on the indies? Yes, welcome to the indies. This is the greatest place in the world. Not. The independents have taught me everything and prepared me for everything. And do I love it? Yes. Do I hate it? Yes. Do I want to leave it? No. Do I want to leave it? Yes. Does that make any sense? I would love to go to the WWE. That is my main goal forever. Okay. It will never change. But I love the independents taught me everything. That's the main. There's no one promotion. You know what I mean? It's just being on the independents has a way to shape a wrestler. Your favorites, CM Punk, Christopher Daniels, you name them, have all gone through the independents, and that is why they are the best. That is why they have retired, and they're at the top of the card at WrestleMania. They can handle any situation, and that's what the indies prepare you for. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or in WWE, you put Brie Bella in the indie locker room, she's not going to survive at all. You know what I mean? This is for the dogs and the wolves, and you know what I mean? Only the strong survive. Does that answer your question at all?
No, it does. And like I said, from my opinion, I already felt that it was the independent line that had, provided the most for you. Only because it is true. There are so many who can walk on with skipping what I believe is, also believe is a crucial part in the journey to becoming a wrestler, at least a well-rounded one, I would think. Yeah. So, no, I mean, even though I posed the question, I can't argue that, yes, it is the independent wrestling circuit because it just is.
Yeah.
And it's apparent among so many, not just you, so many.
You put a college kid that just got signed from WWE into PC and release them and tell them, go to the indies and get better. They won't know where to start. They won't know what to do. They won't know how to handle themselves. Braun Strowman was released from the company for some time, and he tried to hit the indies, and he hated every minute of it. And he was so thankful to get back to WWE. And you got guys like me that go, I wear this badge of honor. I love the indies. I'm proud to come from here. Mm-hmm. Daniel Bryan Danielson, whatever you know him as, from the indies. You know what I mean? AJ Styles from WCW, TNA. He's done the indie circuit. We've all the names have done the indies. It's who we are. It's what makes us and shapes us, teaches us. That is our how can I say, that is kind of like our orientation before we get the job. You can't get a job without orientation or knowing how to do a job. You don't just go into I don't know, Walmart and be like, all right, get in this cashier and check these guys out. I don't know how to
Yep.
work a computer, or you know what I mean? Like, you have to learn, and this is what allows us to fail, to succeed, to change, to switch, to try and see if this works. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of kids that are literally like, I have this idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but do you think I could try this at the show? And I'm like, why the hell not?
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
So I don't know if it's going to work either. Let's find out.
People boo, or they cheer. Well, that's good because we're fighting for a reaction. But when they do nothing, yeah, it didn't work. Go back to the drawing board. And that's what indies allows us to do. Whereas you go and I have this idea and I want to put it on TV and WWE, and they get one shot and nobody cares. You go back to catering and you sit with me with the extras. So indies is a must. I encourage every wrestler, or any aspiring wrestler, enjoy the indies as long as you can and learn from it. And then, branch out and go, okay, I think I'm ready. I'm done with the indies. I want to get signed. How can I do this?
But I think it's necessary to know, and correct me if I'm wrong, that let's say you never get signed. That just doesn't happen. That does it really necessarily mean that you didn't make it?
No.
I don't think so. I think if, there's a ton of individuals out there that are perfectly fine staying among independent wrestling. They never wanted to get signed. And I don't think that makes them any, a failure or any less important than anyone that did get signed. They had a dream, they had a goal, and they lived it. And to me, that's a win.
So being honest with myself, I realized that I have more days behind me than I have ahead of me. Mm-hmm. And I'm on the outs more than coming in. And I have to be honest with myself and come to realization that I may not fulfill my dream. I may not be able to get signed in the WWE or, in AEW or TNA. I may never obtain a contract, even if it's for a year or 3 months. I may never get it. And I'm perfectly happy with that because of the people that I've met, the people that I've let in the door, and I broke into the business. When you don't get signed, you have to go, okay, it's not me. I wasn't the chosen one. But guess what I can do? I can leave a legacy. And it's not a legacy of great matches. There's a ton of wrestlers from the 80s, 70s, 90s that have left great matches. But it's the legacy that they've left behind. You know what I mean? And I love this. I have it in my head. It's coming out. But it's the legacy that you leave behind that says, I made it. I made it. I didn't need a contract, but I made it because these guys did. And I can tell you this real quick. Beth Phoenix, and she just recently did it with somebody else. Beth Phoenix was in OVW, and she couldn't afford the classes. And, she was like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay this. Somebody paid her tuition in full. Do you know who that was?
Oh.
It was Molly Holly. Molly Holly paid her tuition in full without saying, hey, I paid it for you or whatever. She gave it back, right? And Molly Holly has a ton of great matches, but no one can name 5 of them. Molly Holly is very respected in my industry, in my eyes, as a trainer and as a wrestler, but she's not in the Mount Rushmore as the greatest wrestler. But in my eyes, I go, Molly Holly is one of the greatest because of what she's done and didn't have to sit on a mountain and go, I paid somebody's whole tuition so that they could become a Hall of Famer one day. She doesn't have to do that, right? And Beth Phoenix did that to somebody else. She paid it back. And that's the legacy we leave. So again, I may never make it, okay? But I know damn well there's at least 10 kids right now running around with the tag of, I was trained by Gino Rivera, and I'm living my best life. Because when I was in Albuquerque, I was at Hot Topic hating life. Now I'm traveling the world, which I would have never, ever been able to do on my own dime. But I have all these Simpson promoters going, I'll fly you out, baby, whatever, to New York, to Colorado, to Florida, and I'm seeing the world, and I'm not even paying $1. Wow. That's the legacy I leave behind of all these kids that are just enjoying wrestling. And yeah, do they want to get signed? I'm sure they do. Will they get signed? I'm sure they will. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But that is what makes me proud and go, maybe I don't need to get signed. My calling wasn't that. My calling was to make this girl or this guy, the wrestler they are today. Because I can tell you right now, I'm responsible for everything popping off in New Mexico right now because of what the biggest step that I chose in this state. There was a few wrestlers here that controlled the state for 20 something years, and they would not let anybody in. They were gatekeepers. And I kicked that fucking door down. I kicked that door down and I said, I will train them. And they would not train girls. They said, no, we don't train women. Women don't wrestle. And I said, I'll train them. I'll even open my own school. I'll let them in. And I did that. And my first student was a girl, Gypsy Mac. And she's going on right now to bigger and better things. She learned from me, went to FSW in Vegas. She's learning from them. She's traveling the world. She's enjoying life. Got in the greatest shape of her life right now and making money. And I can definitely say that I'm proud of that. I may never make it, but I'm definitely proud of something like that, of being inspirational and instrumental in somebody's career, because who knows where that little girl would be. Somebody told her she couldn't wrestle. What would she be doing right now? That's shitty. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And now she goes, thank God for Gino Rivera. He let me in and he fought everybody tooth and nail and said, no, you're going to be a wrestler. I'm going to show you how, and you're going to be really good at this. So I love that. I have 3 little girls. I gotta keep the inspirational thing going, So
No.
there you go.
And to be honest with you, to
Don't
me,
you cry,
that
Victoria.
sounds far more rewarding than a contract.
Right. Don't you cry, Miss Victoria. I see you over there.
She's crying because I won't let her chime in with chat. So go ahead, take it, Victoria.
There we go.
Oh, sorry, I had to cry first. I'm sorry. I guess I'll do better. That's how I have to, though. Well, we had Mr. Johnny B in here blowing it up. Here we go. Don't be mad, Johnny, that it took a second. You can blame it all on Michelle.
I'm used to it.
Hey, you know what? There you go. So this was him chiming in and saying the Indies is where it is at, the good or bad. We love it, and that's why we are here.
That's right.
100%.
And then that's where he's chiming in. The Bellas would run away crying, lol, about them being here in the Indies.
They're tough broads. They're tough broads, but they couldn't handle that.
I don't believe so. I think they would struggle quite a bit. And then
Did you read that comment, right? Did you read that comment yet?
That one?
Not yet. Why, were you trying to read the comment?
No. I didn't want to take your job.
Take it away from me again. How rude. It was just they better get ready for those hot dog and handshakes. LOL.
You know what? I've had some really good hot dogs. Okay, like I've had some freaking. I don't even know. Like, there's been times where I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. This hot dog was amazing. Like, don't worry about it. I got a 5-hour drive home. Give me 2 to go. Okay, give me a couple of those hot dogs to go. So I don't ever crap on hot dogs and handshakes. In LA, we call them tortas and a Sprite because that's very, very derogatory. But it's very, instead of hot dogs and handshakes, the lucha world, whereas where I'm from, they say, go get a torta and go get a Sprite, and that's your pay. Oh, here's $5. $5. I've wrestled for opportunities. I've wrestled for action figures. I've wrestled for my students to get on a show. There's nothing that I have not wrestled. I've wrestled for food. I've wrestled for a lot. It's part of the wrestler way, and that's why the Bellas wouldn't survive. They'd be like, what? You don't get paid to do this? You want to pay a banana and a freaking Kudos bar? No. I'm here for it. I'm like, if it'll get my kids an opportunity, I will definitely take a string cheese, and I'll definitely take a Coke, whatever. So, like, there's nothing I haven't wrestled for. I take pride in, sacrificing.
He's like, here, let me place my order really fast. I want that one, maybe that one.
Trust me, I've done that.
Well, here's another one. He had said, a lot of the guys who get pushed back to the Indies do better for themselves, and then later down the road get re-signed. Look at Drew McIntyre, RVD, Matt Cardona, and more.
Exactly.
Very true.
Don't know what to do with you. They send you to the Indies or they fire you, and you have no other opportunity other than to sink or swim. And the only way to swim is to, hey, they messed up with me in WWE or AEW or WCW. I'm going to go in the Indies and show them what they're missing out on. And some of them come back, some of them don't. Like, don't burn bridges.
No, never.
Oh, looks like Johnny B is ready to book a match. Maybe we can get you versus Johnny B in Illinois sometime down the road.
Hold on now, brother. I don't do cage matches, brother. Hold on. Hold on. No, just kidding.
So there you go. It's gonna have to be something totally different, Johnny. He's already saying no to it.
Is this a custom match? Hold on. What?
He's heard all about it, Johnny B. Everyone, the word of September is spreading fast.
Don't get me started on those.
Come on. I would love to see it in a cage match. It'd be fun.
Come on. There you go. Don't have to be in the cage.
There you go.
Yeah.
Compromise.
There you go. You're gonna find someone else, Johnny, for the cage match. Don't not do it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll let you continue asking your questions. I do apologize, Michelle.
Well, I've heard about all the greatness. So before I get to the funny stuff, because I want to hear the humiliation part too, I want to hear about some failures. What is your biggest failure out there? What did you get out there in the middle of that ring and completely blow?
I've forgotten my scripts. I've been handed a stack of papers and they're like, hey, you're going to say all this. And I'm like, easy. I love talking. Gone out there and my music hits and I'm like, go in the ring. And I'm like, what was I supposed to say? And there's no one there to help me. And it's dead air. I've ripped my tights literally from the butt crack down.
Oh, no.
I've had some embarrassing pictures posted where I'm like, don't tag me in that one. You know what I mean? No one wants to see that crying face, that ugly face, that beer belly, whatever. You know, I've fallen off ropes. I got my first "You effed up" chant on pay-per-view ever in 17 years. I got that like in December. I slipped. No, actually, I slipped in like first when I lost my mask. But this one I didn't need to slip, and I slipped. And I was like, I did this 100 times. What happened? Why right now? Why couldn't I get a birthday party show? But I did it on pay-per-view, and I was like, oh my God. And everybody's saying, you effed up. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I've done a lot of crazy stuff throughout the ring. But it's mostly stuff that I do outside that I'd say gives people heart attacks. Oh my gosh. If you are my friend, if you are my student, you worry for me all the time because I do stupid things. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like 100 miles till we get to the next exit. My gas says 83 miles to empty. I'll make it. And then it's like, and I'm like, oh no, I ran out of gas and I'm up first for our show. Oh, help me. What am I going to do? And it's $75 to get an Uber to there. Yeah. I've done a lot of stupid stuff. I've literally.
What would be your absolute most humiliating moment out on the road since you travel as much as you do?
I don't know.
There's got to be something.
There's always something. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can even share that. Oh my gosh. There's been some eventful stuff. I can tell you that.
Will you accept those via email after the show?
Yeah,
just type those up and let us know.
I can definitely tell you that for sure. There's been some humiliating things that have been done with me, to me, and then so. But like I said, I'm a big ribber. I love ribbing people. I love doing. If you fall asleep, ooh, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. So there's a lot of embarrassing pictures of me out there of me sleeping. We call that the hanging jaw. Oh
yeah.
Because you sleep with your mouth open. Somebody put M&Ms in my nose and I couldn't breathe for like 10 minutes. I couldn't get the M&Ms out of my nose because I couldn't sleep like this. And I was like, I couldn't get it out. But we're vicious when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's all in good fun. The camaraderie of a road trip is the best. Okay. But I also miss nights. I'm a guy that's like, oh, I got all the time in the world. I'm just gonna go to Einstein Bagel and I'm gonna get a bagel. I don't eat many bagels, but I'm gonna get a bagel. And all of a sudden go back to my gate and they're like, left 22 minutes ago. What happened? Where did I go? They're like, yeah, we boarded a long time ago. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to sleep here in the airport. And I'm like, well, what do I do now in Chicago for 18 hours? Yeah, I see. Happens
should
all
not
the
go with bagel.
time.
I think the
It was
bagel's not it. You should
was
not
a
go
really
with
good
bagel.
it was a really good bagel. I sat down. I was like, I'm gonna sit here. I got some time. Well. Meanwhile, my flight's getting everybody's boarding.
So what was that about teaching time management? Because now I'm starting to worry.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Hey, I was here in an interview like 5 minutes, but I just think I'm like, oh my God, it's just down the street. I always tell people things are just down the street. It could be like 6 hours. It's not. Don't believe it.
No.
And I'm the guy. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm already ready. I haven't got out of bed yet. So yeah, that's me.
Well, that's funny because I was just about to ask you if you were ready to play a game.
Yeah, let's do it. I love games.
All right, Victoria, I am going to let you take over because this is yours.
Okay. Well,
Doing that.
first,
What are we
let me catch
doing
up
this
with
time?
chat. We're catching up with chat first.
Okay,
Then
let's
I
do
will
it.
let you guys in on what game we're gonna play. Let me see here. Let's catch up with Mr. Johnny B in here. That happens to me as well, and all I can imagine is the SpongeBob song. I just ripped my pants.
Yes, I do actually love that song. I don't know if you guys know that song. It's a great song.
I feel like you guys have to have it play anytime it happens, just in the background or edit it over. All because I just ripped
And it was
my
a
pants.
really good pair of trunks too. And I'm like, thank God I wear some undergarments, or else it would have been a real freak show. So
And then we just had him come in here. You do stupid things, but not cage matches. LMAO.
I've been in, I think, 2 or 3 cage matches, and the worst thing that's happened to me was there was barbed wire on the top, and I went to like get away from it, and it sliced my arm. I think I have the scar somewhere, but it made like a hill on my arm somewhere. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm bleeding. Well, I'm gonna die. Yeah.
All right, so hardcore matches are not his style. Got it.
Okay, there you go, Johnny B. He says no, thank you. Oh. Yes, that's how September will be. Oh yes, we have heard all about it, and I think we're still very psyched for it.
Oh yes.
All right,
Oh
so
yes. All right. So what are we doing?
The game we're going to be playing today is WWE Emoji Game.
Yes.
So I went in. I have done this, so Michelle has not seen it yet, and Gino has not seen it yet either. And I went through and I selected WWE superstars, either male, female, or a tag team. So it can be either one of the 3. Don't forget about that. And we are I'm going to flash up an image. I'll let it stay up here. It'll go in between us. And it'll be 3 to 4 emojis. And the winner will be able to win them some Gino, Toldyouso, Rivera merch. We're changing it up. Not so much the $25 gift card, but I think it could be a little bit more fun if you're winning some merch. I know I would be happy. Okay, is everyone ready? So it's time to select the fan you're going to play for.
All right.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to have, who's going to pick their fan first? Gino or you, Michelle?
We can let the guests go first. I'm fine with that.
That's right.
Okay. To give you that
It's the only victory he'll have from here on out.
What was that?
I was like,
I said it's the only victory you'll have from here on out.
Man. Oh,
okay.
all right, let's do
She
this.
gets very competitive. Extremely.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. One moment she was nice, and the next moment, in like Derek's episode, she turned into like trash talking the entire time. I thought Derek was gonna lose it.
Now I'm scared.
I got
Okay,
this.
Gina, go ahead and pick a number 1 through 4.
Let's do 3.
Oh, that's my number.
My number now.
Oh, too bad. You can't have the number.
All right.
Well, you are going to be playing for Anthony Morris.
What's up, Anthony? Yeah.
I know you're gonna be mad about that, Michelle.
I had a fish named Anthony.
All right, you now have to pick 1 through 4. That's not number 3.
Let's do 1.
I'm going to go with number 1.
I knew it. I knew she say 1.
Yeah.
Sorry. I jumped the gun.
All right, you get to
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm running this thing. I can tell you what to do. Uh-oh, here comes Anthony in the chat. Yeah, she starts to scare me just watching her snacks on. You're scaring people now, Michelle. You need to tone it down, see?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't be scared
Just
of
here
our
to play the
fans.
game. Just here to play the game.
Okay, so you said number 1, correct?
I did
Okay. Well, then
reflect
you
my standing at the end of this.
Mhm.
You actually get to play for Jimmy Harris Sr.
I got you, Jimmy. We got this. He ain't got none on me.
We'll see. We'll see. Let me mark this down. Okay. So let's kickstart this with the first one, shall we? I don't know. Should we kick off with easy or should we go semi-hard at this point?
We can go ahead and start easy for him, and he can go first.
Oh.
Give him a head start.
All right. So the first person to guess correctly gets the point. All right? I think we should do it like that.
Yeah.
That way we ain't getting no crazy ties. Okay. So we'll kick off pretty easy with the first
The new
one.
day.
I would. Okay. We're gonna spit it out. That's what we're doing. It. Gotcha.
Oh, now don't be sitting there acting like you don't know how to play the game. She went over the rules, and now you just don't want to be embarrassed, so you're gonna sit there and say, "I don't understand."
Michael, I got this.
Apparently, you don't, because you're still sitting there trying to figure out how to play the game.
I got this.
Okay. You say that. So you even got Anthony cheering on. Come on, Gino. So
Stay with
you can't
me.
be disappointing.
Have faith in me.
We're trying.
We're trying.
Okay. What if we jump to this one?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Ding, 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 ding.
Got it.
You already looking so mad over there. You just got one right over there, like.
Well, I wouldn't recognize that because I hate him. So who cares? Not me. He's like John Cena. I can't see him.
Same.
All right, hold on. Get rid of these here before I mix them up here. Okay. Why don't we jump to this one?
Sheamus.
No.
Finn Balor.
CM Punk.
Yes to Michelle, wrong to Gino. Why would you think CM Punk?
What? Why the hell would CM Punk have a shamrock?
And I don't know. I totally missed that by a lot. That was a horrible answer. Oh my god.
Yes, you were correct, Michelle. It was indeed Finn Balor.
It's okay. Get used to saying that. You were correct, Michelle.
All right. How about we do this one?
Shawn Michaels. DX. Shawn Michaels. Hey, HBK.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you were right the second time you said it. It's not Shawn Michaels, but you said DX. You kept flipping.
Heartbreak, right? Shawn Michaels. Am I right?
Yes.
You were right the second time, but then you backtracked. You said Shawn Michaels DX. Shawn Michaels.
Because they're in the same.
DX.
That's on his pants.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
Well, it is, but which one is it?
I remember.
Gino got the point because it's D-Generation X.
It's fine. Oh, you can have the point.
That's right.
What's the score?
2-2.
It's 2-2. So you can breathe. You're getting there. Okay, let's see here. Let me insert these in since it's open now. It wouldn't be any podcast if the computer told me to fuck off. Okay, what if we do this one?
Fuck.
Now, I know this one's going to be tricky.
Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
see
right.
that. I can see that. Smoke and mirrors.
American. I got this.
Yep.
Come on.
You got it.
Oh, wow. Whippy.
No.
Got lucky
Come
once.
on.
No.
Well, quite simply, he's got lucky 3 times.
I was at least gonna say that he, took educated guesses at the other two. You're like, no, this motherfucker's stupid. He got lucky 3 times.
Oh, see?
Well, okay, well, he threw me off with his D-Generation X because he was like, Shawn Michaels, D-Generation X. Shawn.
My brain was like,
It's like, I heard it first time. Slow down before you mess yourself up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I feel like we should have Jeopardy music playing.
Oh my god.
I feel like you should have picked better emojis.
I didn't know. I picked up fine emojis.
What the ever living?
Oh man.
Okay, Jimmy, help me out here. What the hell is that?
Is that a trash can?
I think so. And a chain.
Oh man.
What the hell is that a dog?
Yes, it's a dog.
Brown breaker?
And chains. No.
No.
And trash.
Junkyard dog.
Oh Jesus.
Yes. I thought for sure this one was going to be an easy one for you guys.
Enjoy it. It's only gonna last a brief moment.
You know.
I'm going old school with a guess I got, is what Anthony just said. Okay. Let me do this one.
Tiffany Stratton.
Yes.
Oh man.
Amen.
Oh, got it.
Alrighty. So, I mean, you guys are kind of neck and neck here. You're going to have to keep standing on top, Gino, if you're going to want to win, though.
I'm trying. I got this.
Said that before.
John Cena.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. I love that the shit talking has stopped from you, Michelle. You just kind of like forfeited.
Again, you're putting wrestlers out there that I can't see. It's no wonder I didn't answer. There's like no emojis up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pathetic. This game is rigged. Bianca Belair.
Yes.
I was gonna say Big Papa Pump because it. All right.
No, I can't. My daughter's obsessed with Bianca, so the kissy lips, nothing else resonates. Nothing.
Let's see.
All right. So may or may not be tricky. Depends.
Rhea Ripley. A-Town
Grayson
Down.
Wallen.
Yes.
A-Town Down Under.
Gino got it. Gino
Yes,
said it
Yeah,
before
there was
you.
an actual tag team, because of
Yes.
Grayson, and then got it.
Wow, that's pretty
That's why I
cool.
want you guys to remember that there's tag teams in here.
Tag
So
teams.
what you
I
guys
did
feel
first.
like.
That is creative. All right.
And here is the last and final one. So let's see who gets it.
Undertaker.
You guys really
you're-
said identical time.
To the exact time.
You guys said at the exact time. Why?
So what are we doing? Do we add a point to each and still
I can
Gino wins?
add a point to each.
Right?
Yeah, because I
I
mean,
think
I don't
so,
even
yeah.
think we weren't tied or anything.
No, so it's not like it's gonna be like, oh no, you guys are tied, and we gotta do tiebreakers. It actually
Or is there a deal breaker?
still ended it. All right, so we do officially have a winner,
Yeah.
and the winner is not you, Michelle. Gino, we did win.
You're right. It's Jimmy.
Win 7 points, while
Oh,
Michelle, you had 5.
Please. What the hell?
I'd like to thank all the little people out there and me again.
So, congratulations to you, Anthony Morris. Gino picks up the win for you, which means you have won yourself your own Gino Toldyouso Rivera merchandise.
There we go.
And it'll be a grab bag. We're going to let Gino pick it. We'll buy it and we'll have him send it your way.
See, I knew it. I got this.
You got lucky.
Yeah, most of the time. Most of the time.
Ooh, and the merchandise will be going to my daughter Sophia. She will be excited.
Yes.
I know the perfect item I have. Trust me.
We absolutely
Oh, well,
love
congratulations, Anthony and Sophia. And to you, Gino, as much as it pains me to say, a rematch one day. A rematch one day. Oh, please.
I'll gladly wear this.
Now he's living all high and mighty. He's got his throne all the way up there. He's living good now.
Watch, the bragging rights will be great tonight.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, before I let you run off with those bragging rights, please tell us, what is the next chapter in your story? Where can we find you? Where are we going to see you? Tell everybody, please.
Gosh, there's a list of places that I'm going to go to. First and foremost, you can find me here in Albuquerque, New Mexico at my training school called Off the Ropes Pro Wrestling. We are here Monday through Thursday from 4 to 8. If you'd like to sign up, please contact me. The sites are available. As well as my wrestling career. I am everywhere. I am literally going to be I'm just going to name a few places. Anchorage, Alaska, Tacoma, Washington, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, El Paso, Texas, Montana, Florida, Washington, you name it. Oh, and I can't say the word. Is it Muscuda? Muscuda, Illinois. I will be there in June. So please come check me out. Stay with me on social media. I am very much so active. If I don't answer you in 5 minutes, it's $20 in your hand. Just kidding. But I'm very active online, guys. Buy my merchandise. I make them myself. I personally make them myself. So when you wear these items, when you have these items, it's actually from the hands of Gino Rivera. There are my shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, but come get them from me. Go straight to me, and Pro Wrestling Tees doesn't get any cuts of it. So follow me on social media. Come join my school. See me in the ring. See me at a show. I'd love to meet you. And thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you furthering that career. And hopefully we'll be out in New Mexico sometime soon and I can beat you with that trophy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna shine this,
Oh my goodness.
I appreciate it. We got to do this again, and I enjoyed being on your show. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much again. And you take care. Have a good rest of your night. Hopefully it's not too late. We'll let you get back to your students. If not, hopefully it was worth it and you had a great time.
I did. That game was amazing. I'm going to go play that with my students now. They're all going to lose.
Awesome. Well, you have to let us know how it turns out.
Yes. Victoria, thank you. Michelle, thank you. I'll see you guys. Enjoy.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right. I did see my Jimmy there in the chat. He's right. There is always next time. Man, I'm not doing very good here. I lost to Johnny B. Now I've lost to Gino.
Yep.
This is not the way it should be. I'm gonna have to brush up on my training. My apologies, Jimmy.
Have to prepare.
Please don't be disappointed in me. I will do better. I promise, Jimmy.
Okay, and we even had Anthony come in here, then he will have to bring Sophia to meet Gino and Miss Buddha. That would be awesome.
Yes,
definitely.
Absolutely. And I want to see each and every one of those pictures, Anthony. You take her there and you let her wear that merch for Gino.
And a story right there. Yeah, see, you gotta brush up. You are losing. Come on, you
I'm
have to
losing
be
my
ready
touch
for
there.
next week.
They're coming on my podcast and they're kicking my ass. What is this?
Come on, you gotta step up.
Oh, well, before we let the rest of you go, speaking of upcoming shows, Victoria, please go ahead and put up that card of all the upcoming pro wrestling independent events that are coming up. Pick one, pick many, pick them all. Just please pick some and get out there and support the independent wrestling circuits. We'll also have this on our Ringside Rivalries Facebook page for you to reference, and we work to update it every week, so keep an eye out on that.
There's some
All right.
out
Well,
there.
oh no, there is. There's quite a full schedule out there, and hope to be able to add more and more on. So if there's anybody that we're missing that wants to be included, you just let us know and we'll get you added up on there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, even got Jimmy in here. Never got faith in you. Oh wow. So you gotta earn his faith up, Michelle. Come on. See? She's
Oh, I
trust me,
will. I
she's
will.
gotta have it down. She'll have it down by next month. She's got this. We'll send her training.
That's right. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right. Well, thank you to everybody that has tuned in to watch and listen. We appreciate your support. Like we always say, more than we ever truly could say. So we'll say it till we're blue in the face, but we're not sure if you'll ever really know how much we mean it. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place, and hopefully you are too.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great night.
All right. Thank you, guys.